Hello everyone, I want to jump in here because today is cycle day 1 for me. Now if you were trying to conceive, those 2 weeks that you were waiting for a positive test or your period to come are a fucking nightmare. Like, it is horrible. It's so annoying, but for me, I wanted to get my period so that means that I can start getting tested and lock in my surgery date for my hysteroscopy surgery. So that's where they take a biopsy of my uterus at a certain point in my cycle, which is usually 7 to 10 days after ovulation, to test what the highest of my natural killer cells are at. And he'll also be doing, I think it's called a lipidol flush, like, don't quote me, but it's where they flush out your uterus. Oh, flush out your uterus and your tubes with poppy seed oil. So I'm having bloods on Wednesday, and then they'll keep tracking me until they pinpoint the date of ovulation, and then surgery is 7 to 9 days after that. So by my calculations, oh, my nose, I'm next to like this huge pot of meat. So by my calculations, I should be going in, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I should be going in for surgery, I'm assuming probably the 22nd of March. So that is exciting because I'm so keen to get started on our next plan and just like have all the results and everything ready to go. So once we get those results back, I'm pretty sure they take a week as well. So it's literally like just before my period's due next cycle, he will chat to us about what is happening that cycle. And I'm pretty sure it is, well, we haven't 100% decided, but 90% sure that we're just going to try naturally on immune protocol. But that is the update, and that's where we're at. I will check in with you guys next Wednesday and probably like leading up to surgery as well, because a lot of you have messaged in quite a lot of questions regarding like how I'm feeling, what I'm doing, and that kind of thing. So I actually had a really good conversation with well, I guess she's a girlfriend now, about how I have been feeling, and it was a really good conversation. It made me kind of check out of a number of groups and a number of people that I was following who have the DQ alpha gene, whether that be a partial match or complete match. I felt like I needed to kind of, chat to someone about that. So I might jump in tomorrow or the next day and speak to you guys more about that then. But otherwise, I hope you all have a good day, and I'll check in with you really soon. Hey everyone, it's been a minute. It's actually been like over, I don't know, almost 2 weeks. Yeah, no, it has been. No, it's been 10 days since I've spoken to you all. And I did film a whole bunch of stuff at the specialist this morning when I had to go and get a blood test, but then I just deleted it before. That's how good I am at all of this stuff. But that's okay, we're here now. I've got my Chi tonic that I just got. I don't even know what the brand is, Super Fest, I don't know. So I thought I would have a quick chat to you guys. I'm going to get this up on Friday anyway, because I'm actually getting a second blood test on Friday, so we'll see what they say there. So far I've had my blood test today to track my ovulation so that they can pinpoint the day that I will have my hysteroscopy surgery, where they go into my uterus, take a biopsy and test that to see what level my natural killer cells are at. And they'll also do a lipidol flush, so they'll flush my uterus and my tubes with poppy seed oil, which is funny because like seeds growing, you know, pregnancy. So that'll happen. I'm hoping, so if I get another blood test on Friday and they track ovulation happening between now and then, I think that means that I would go into the surgery next Friday, I guess, which is really hard for me because someone who likes to plan ahead, like getting told you're gonna have surgery in a week, like I kind of need more notice. But anyway, so they pinpoint the day that you ovulate, and then they will tell you 7 to 9 days after, that's the day that you'll be going to surgery, because in any female cycle, that is the day that your natural killer cells are at their peak, you know? So I'm assuming mine are fucking, I'm not gonna swear. I'm not gonna swear. I'm assuming mine are peaking. They are peaking. Another thing is, this month, as much as I do really want to try to fall pregnant, we just shouldn't be doing it. You know, we just shouldn't be risking it to get the biscuit, because if we fall pregnant, then there is obviously a massive risk of the pregnancy not holding and having a miscarriage. But also not knowing, my specialist won't have any idea of like what immune protocol to put me on, so it'll be kind of like going in a bit like with no idea of what to do. So as much as I'm like, yeah babe, like let's try, I'm also like, better not do it. And yeah, I'm feeling good, honestly. Like, and I think I was saying this on Instagram the other day, I genuinely feel good. I feel like I'm in a place where I can look back on everything that has happened and really embrace all of the lessons that I've learned over the last 12 months in regards to myself, my relationship, my energy, my just everything. Like, there's so many things, and I think that's a really amazing thing to come out of all of this grief and loss. It's obviously still really sad, and yeah, but I got told this by a girlfriend, and she said, this is your path, and like, this is the path that you've been given, and you're able to share this with so many other women. And I remind myself of that so often, and on the down days I just remind myself, like, no, like this is your path, and this is what is supposed to be happening, and you know, one day it will all make sense, and I'm sure it will. But yeah, I am feeling good. I did want to chat to you guys more about a lot of the questions that were coming through, and let me just try and find some, because I obviously didn't save those either. Sorry about the noise in the background. My neighbour is rudely, no, he's adorable, with the snippering. But so a lot of the questions were just surrounding Sam and my relationship, and basically asking a lot like, how did we navigate that whole year? Kudos to anyone who goes through this for years and like still has a really strong relationship with their partner, and you know, that's just incredible. Because, and I take my hat off to you, because it is really difficult at times. You know, Sam would have to like pick me up and carry the weight of, not physically but like mentally carry all of my weight, and there wasn't really many times that I was that for him. And I think that's what a lot of us women forget, that you know, our partners are obviously going through it as well, and even though it's physically happening to us, it is still mentally happening to them, you know. Even now, because I've worked through so much of this, I am in such a good place now that I can be there for Sam now. And I know that it's still hard for him, and that's because he hasn't had a chance to properly process or grieve or anything, because he's had to just be my absolute rock throughout so much of this. Another main question in regards to Sam and I was asking about how, and if you're watching this and you don't follow me online on Instagram and stuff, you would know, you wouldn't know this, but I actually didn't want kids, and I was so happy not having kids in our life, and that was truly what I wanted. And obviously everyone is so allowed to change their mind 1,000 times, like you can do how you please. But Sam and I got together, like I had expressed that to him, and he had to work through that himself because he did really want kids. So we obviously got married and whatever, and that was our plan. And I remember people used to say to me, what do you mean you don't want kids? And I just, and now looking back, like, you can't really make that decision. I was obviously young, 29 now, but back then I was a lot younger, and obviously your mind changes and whatever, but it's a huge decision to make and to tell someone that as well. So that was where I was at, and it wasn't until November 2019 that I changed my mind. And what had happened was I was doing stairs at Burleigh with Ashy, and something had happened inside me, like I had a cyst on my fallopian tube on the outside that was hitting my bowel, and it was like obstruct, like it was pulling on my bowel and twisting and whatever. And I had this pain, and this pain was unbearable, and I have a pretty good pain threshold, but it was so bad. I was on the ground, like it was horrible. So I ended up getting in the car sobbing. It was so bad. Went home and just was on the floor in a heap. I was in that much pain, and I think it lasted like a couple of hours. So I ended up going to see a specialist for that, and that's when I had my first laparoscopy, where they went in and they thought it was endo, which thank God it wasn't. It would end up being a cyst that was wrapping around my fallopian tube, and like hitting my bowel and whatever, and that is what was causing that pain. But yeah, after that, I remember them coming in after the surgery. I remember the doctors coming in and explaining to me what it was and showing me photos, and I think I do have photos. I should show you guys. It's kind of gross, but okay, I won't. I can hear you guys being like, please don't. But yeah, so they came in and showed me the photos and explained to me what had happened. And at that moment I was like, oh my God, the thought of not being able to have children came across me like a fucking ocean, like a wave, like hit me in the face. And my mind was changed. By that point, I think we started trying, yeah, so that was November, and then we started trying in February, and obviously fell pregnant quite fast. But far out, like when something's taken away from you, it really makes you like step back and look at your life. And the way I see it now is like, yeah, I don't see my life not with kids. And in years to come, like I would love to have 4 or 5 kids. I doubt that will happen, but I would really like that. And just the future of like the siblings growing up together, and like I've got an amazing relationship with my eldest brother. We're really close, which is so nice, you know. And yeah, I just think family is really everything. And obviously you can create and make your own family as well, but it really changed my mind, and that is why that. So yeah, all right, well I'll leave this here for now, but I need to go to this appointment, which you guys, if you watch Instagram, you'll know what I'm getting done. But yeah, I'll jump in on Friday and I will take you guys to my second blood test and see if we have a date for surgery. Good morning everyone. I will shortly be jumping into a Q&A with Sam, but I wanted to give you guys a quick update. I know earlier in this video I spoke about I was having an appointment for something to do with my chin. As you can see, it is very swollen. I had Kybella fat dissolving injections in my chin, and I'm feeling the regrets. I'm feeling the regrets, especially when I'm on camera, that is for sure, but oh well. With my hysteroscopy, I've had 3 sets of bloods. I also need to get 1 more tomorrow, and hopefully they will lock in my surgery. I thought that it would be this coming Friday, today's Sunday, but it's not going to happen. I think it will happen either Monday or Tuesday next week. So I'm so keen just to get into surgery, have my post-op, and just get this shit going. So I think it'll be, our immune protocol should hopefully, fingers crossed, start next month. So of course I will video all of that for you guys as well. And yeah, I think my LH is sitting at 6 and it needs to be at 25. 25 is where they see you're going to ovulate soon. So yeah, that's annoying, but all good. bloods in the morning, and then hopefully lock it all in for next week.
Into the camera, right?
You're looking here. Into the lens.
Into the lens.
Not
the screen.
Viewfinder.
What's the point of having the viewfinder there? That's really fucking distracting.
You just can't look at it. Like I just looked at it.
See what I mean? Why don't you just put it away? We know our frame now, we're good.
Are you sure? My chin.
We'll fix it in fucking post-op. Whatever it is. What's it called?
Okay.
I haven't moved. Like, you don't need to see it. I haven't moved.
Okay. Okay. I don't love not being able to see myself though. You can see the whole picture. Anyway, hey guys. This video has been a bit all over the shop, but I am going to edit it today, and I want to finish off with some questions from Samuel, because a lot of you have messaged in saying that saying that you wanted to hear Sam's point of view of the last 12 months. So I think the last thing that I said in this video was talking about how, you know, like the woman physically goes through it, and I think...
And mentally,
whereas the man mentally goes through it, but kind of has to be there for the woman throughout all of it. And I was saying that I feel like, I don't know if I said this, but I think now that I'm in like a mentally good place, maybe for you it's kind of all caught up. Like, when did it kind of hit you?
Oh, maybe, so probably 3 months ago or something like that. It was really tough for me, because it was like, I think finally I had a chance to breathe, I guess, like, because it wasn't, we didn't have any like devastating news, I guess, so it was...
It wasn't like crisis mode.
Yeah, we weren't in crisis mode, so it was a chance for me to breathe and sort of reflect on my feelings, or just not even reflect on my feelings. It just really just caught up with me, you know, and it's pretty debilitating, I guess, and yeah.
What was your hardest? Like, what was the hardest thing? Oh my god, did you hear that?
I hope that's on
camera. Yeah, it is. She just farted. She did it again.
Chiba.
Gross. What was your hardest thing to watch happen to me over the last 12 months? Like, what was the hardest moment?
I think it's just the consistency of you I don't want to say failing, but not falling pregnant, you know, or falling pregnant and then miscarrying, and it's just the consistency of it keep happening, and it's like compounding your emotions over and over again. That's probably the hardest thing, is, you know, because you're watching your partner essentially like lose a child. Like, it's it's something that's inside you that's growing, no matter what the size is. Like, it's still something that you're trying to foster growth in, and it's dying. So it's extremely hard watching, you know, your eyes fill with hope, and then just straight away compound the emotion of loss again and again and again. And it's hard. Like, it's hard.
Yeah. Another question is, what do you think has happened in our relationship? Because I did say on here that it's definitely been like really tough for us. And I was saying, you know, so many women obviously couples go through this for years and years, and I just, like, kudos to them, hat off to them, because I just don't think that we could do that.
Look, I don't think it's that we couldn't do it. I don't think it's that we couldn't do it. I think it's that we choose to take the path of least resistance, where we're like, okay, we can just farted again. It's like we can either, you know, go through this another year and, you know, have, you know, a myriad of problems and issues in our relationship, or we can choose this other path of least resistance, which is temporarily probably harder, right? But we get the long-term gain of probably getting a child, you know. And I think that we're sort of equipping ourselves with what we perceive we can deal with at the time, and, you know, everyone's journey is going to be different.
But what do you think in our relationship has changed? Do you think that we're stronger because of all of this?
100%. We're stronger, and I think the biggest takeaway, I was speaking to a friend of mine the other day about this, the biggest takeaway for us is that we're choosing to have everything that's happening to us, turning it into a lesson, and if we can't take a lesson from it, we sit down and we reflect on, you know, what is the lesson that we can take from this? Because if we're just going to go through life and just have all these regrets and, you know, being upset about stuff, it's not going to help us. So we need to work out, okay, how's this going to be a lesson from us, and how can we learn from it? How can we move past it, you know, as a couple? And I think at the start of you know, sort of using that mindset, it was really hard, and then now it's like straight away, like both of us, like, how can we, what's our takeaway from this? Like, because if we just
sit there, take that, then
it's just all you think about is the negatives, like, and with every negative, there's always a lesson there. There's always a lesson, or something you can improve yourself on, or something that we can improve, you know, on our relationship from it. Because if we just constantly focus on the negatives, that's all it's going to be. It's just going to be a giant negative experience.
And just to finish up, how are you feeling now about where, like, our DQ alpha gene diagnosis,
I think,
and like where we're at and what we're doing next?
I think because now we have like a plan, I think it's easier, whereas before we were sort of just aimlessly sort of wandering around doing what we thought was right. And you know, the biggest thing is a lot of misinformation out there, I think. And you know,
amongst doctors too.
Exactly, like, and you should always get a second opinion, third opinion even. If you're not happy with the answer or the result, or you don't feel right, or whatever it might be, you should always get a second opinion, or even a third opinion. Like, don't box yourself into something where you're like, okay, well that's just it then. Like, don't give up. There's always an option. And
I know when I've spoken about this on my social media, a lot of you have said, yeah, but we're not in a financial position to do that. Neither are we at all. No. But we had just to make it happen.
Have to make it work. There's always an option. There's always a road that you can go down, whether that be, you know, completely stopping something you enjoy and like, or, you know, you can access your super, or there's so many options, or things you can cut back on, or whatever it might be. You can always, you know, dollar cost average and make it work. You can, of course. You can always make something work. It's always an option.
Well, I won't put you through this much longer.
It's very awkward.
Sam definitely doesn't like the camera, but when it comes to like fertility and miscarriages and everything, I think it's important that you guys do see a partner's point of view. I don't really see much of this on YouTube at all. Of course,
and like, I'm more than happy to field any questions, or if we need to make another video, I'm more than happy to do that. There's more than, I'm sure there's guys out there that, you know, probably suffer in silence, or don't have, you know, they feel like their voice isn't valid, or whatever it might be. There's always questions to be asked, and I'm more than happy to sit here and answer.
Yeah, so
anything.
if you guys do want to see another video, make sure you comment below, ask your questions, send me a DM on Instagram, and potentially we can sit down and do another one in the next video.
Sure.
But I will edit this now and it will be up to your TVs very soon.
Up to your TVs.
Up to your TVs on your YouTube. I don't know. Bye.